Are you building your home or the unit for rentals? At Top Heights, we will help you cross the bridge. Are you doubting anything when it comes to the list of materials? Or are you looking for a qualified electrician to come and assist you in the electrical installation? At Top Heights, we will definitely help you with one that will work with you. For any questions or any problems, challenges that you have in your mind, we will help you cross that bridge. Are you looking forward to install it as soon as you want, either in Nairobi or anywhere in Kenya? Definitely Top Heights Electricians as well as Solar, we are your partner. Just reach us out via this contact and we will walk with you through it all. Today, we will talk about how to list the materials for wiring a single room house. So let's dive right into it. My top boss today have come out of the site to simply elaborate these important points that you need to know, especially if you are an electrician that is confused on where to start when it comes to the material list that you need to provide your client when it comes to wiring a single room house. Now, where to start? The first thing is to know that we require pipe work. Piping has to be factored in, especially if this house is either a story building that consists of single room or it is not. We need to factor in pipe work. Now, the first thing, of course, goes without saying is definitely conduits. We require conduits. Are you a home or a business owner? Did you know that with solar system that is correctly sized, you can save up to 80% on monthly power bills? If you are looking forward to get this system, then contact us to get a quote so that you realize this dream of saving on the money that you spend, and this will definitely scale your business from where it is to higher heights. The conduits that we require here mostly are 20 mm, and these will definitely be linking the lights as well as the switches, light to switch links, okay? And we also need to have the socket, so the sockets right there. And another important thing, we also need to have the consumer unit, all right? So where we have the power connected from the consumer unit all the way to the sockets, we require pipe work. And we also need to connect the lights from the consumer unit all the way to the switches as well as the lighting points. So conduits will definitely be doing the most. And for sockets, we normally use 25 mm conduits, that is the size. From that, we also have the couplers. Couplers basically join the conduits. So we will require the 20 mm couplers and we also require the 25 mm couplers. Now, those are the couplers that we require. Now, remember, top boss, another important thing that we require there, mentioning the pipework, we require the circular boxes, very important. So the circular boxes will definitely be linking the conduits, especially the 20 mm. So the circular boxes, we normally have the four-way and we also have the through-way. So this one is a four-way circular box and we also have the through-way. In many cases, you will find that in this single room setup, you in many cases may not require this because we probably have the security light and we only have the single light for that single room. All right. So this one is a basic lighting point. So you find that we will require this conduit that goes directly to the circular box, which comes from the consumer unit, and this is the lighting point, and the other way is fed to the switch, the light switch. All right. The other way probably is going to a two-way connection where this person has a bed somewhere right here in the room. So this one is definitely where you have the door where you access the house. So it will be switched at this point. So this is the S1 and then this is the S2. So basically we don't need this one actually. All right. So this is the L1 or the L, the lighting point, isn't it? So this is a two-way system. So this is at the bed and then this one is at the door. So this is our lighting point. Also from the consumer unit, we have the socket. So you can even have just one socket or one power outlet, or you can even have one power outlet at the center of the wall and then the other socket outlet somewhere in that room where probably the bed is nearby. This one we are assuming it is a bigger single room, so that is where we'll have it. On the piping, we will also be adding the consumer unit. So you purchase this so that at the point where you are installing or you are doing the pipe work, you also consider the consumer so that before the plaster work is done, the consumer is already fitted. Now, what size of a consumer is ideal for this kind of a setup? I will go with a 6-way because we require an important device in the consumer unit. Number one, we require the RCBO, which is a combination of the MCCB, the double pole MCB, as well as the RCCB, so forming the RCBO. We will also require the MCB for sockets, and we will also require the MCB for light. Sorry, this one is actually a 4-way. A 4-way will work well, so it is a 4-way. So we will have that, an RCBO, and then these two, and then we will have an extra reservation for 2 more MCBs. All right, so if someone decides that they want to have something extra, they have these 2 MCBs that they can use, isn't it? All right, so the other list that, apart from that, the other thing that we need to consider moving forward is definitely the wiring. So wiring comes in handy when it comes to that. So the wiring is definitely at number 2. Wiring, we definitely require 6.0 mm cable. This one will be the mains from either the meter box all the way to the CU that is in this house, the consumer unit. So a 6 mm will work well. Now, you may ask, John, why not a 10? Or even more, because when we look at the consumer unit, we are factoring in the loads that will be connected here. It is definitely a socket and probably a light, so that one is not a heavy load. Even if the customer decides to go for something bigger, which is a cooker, it means that this cable will definitely work best. But we do not have reservations for that, especially in the wiring or in the construction. Assuming someone decides to have an electric cooker there, then this cable should shift to a 10 mm. But if you decide to have this wiring with a 10 mm, at the point where you are giving the customer the quotation, the quote might be very high and they may not consider you as the person to go with in terms of the quotation. Another important thing that my assistant is reminding me, our top boss Margaret, is that assuming that someone has a main house somewhere here, this location X, and they want to extend to location Y and have a single house, this could probably be for what? Probably someone who is working in there, right? Or they could be having a son, all right, that wants to live in there. I wonder which kind of a son will prefer to live in a single room and use the toilets outside there. But it can happen. Or probably a security guard, right? So security guard lives right there. So that is a kind of setup that can be there. Now, another important thing that we need to also factor in, apart from the size of the cable, which is for the mains, is a 2.5 mm. This is for the sockets, all right? So for the sockets. And another important thing that we need to factor in is definitely 1.5 mm or 1.0 mm. This is for the lights. All right, so you may ask, John, please tell us why you said 1.5 or 1.0. 1.0 can work simply because this is not a very long distance. Remember, when it comes to the material that you consider, especially for lighting, you need to factor in issues to do with the resistance. The longer the conductor, the higher the resistance of that conductor. So we don't expect to have longer distances in a single room or a single house unit. That is why 1.0 will be okay, as long as my top boss, that material is made up of copper. All right, moving on, still under wiring, we have the earth rod. we have the earth rod, and we also must consider the earthing cable. So the earthing cable must be 10 mm and not less than that. Again, it has to be pure copper. Another important thing that we need to factor in is having an inspection point. So we must have an inspection point for that. Now, assuming that this is a piece of land and you have started with a single room before, you can probably have an extension or a house in there. Then something that you need to factor in is that Kenya Power or whoever is providing power to your property will have to come and have a place where they will have to meter the electricity consumption. So definitely you will require a meter box, and you will also have the inspection point. Another important thing that you will have inside the meter box, a double pole DP MCB, right? So that in case there is a problem in your CU or there is a short circuit, the DP MCB will simply trip. Assuming that the double cutout does not protect you in case of a short circuit, remember the double cutout has a fuse which is 80 amperes. All right, so apart from that, which is wiring, we definitely go to the fixtures. Fixtures, or is it fittings? I like to go with the word fixtures. So for fixtures, we definitely require number 1, sockets. Number 2, we require switches. Number 3, we require bulb holders or a ceiling rose. I'm saying in plural because probably there is a need for security lights, either just outside the door or at the back of that house. So we might have 2 to 3 bulb holders. So those are the pieces that you require. All right. Now, apart from that, probably this person has a TV or has the internet connection and they require that output. So we will definitely have an output for either the aerial connection or probably internet outlet. And this is where you definitely connect the cable that goes to be fed to what we refer to as the router right there. Now, after all this is done, we will definitely go ahead and have something that is very, very important, which is conducting tests. So of course, we have carried out every work. This is the material work. This is the material that is needed. And after the material list, definitely the work will commence. Of course, we definitely have that part where we mention labor, all right? So for piping, this is how I like to go about labor. You will charge separately for pipe work that is done, and then you will also charge separately for wiring. Pipe work depends on how you charge, either in your country or your region, or depending on the complexity of the project. All right, and also the distance will come to play. Wiring, you find that we have a flat rate whereby we are required by the industry to charge 30% of the cost of the wiring as well as the fixtures. So that one will account for labor. So in many cases, you find that we give labor into 2, either for wiring as well as the fixtures, that is a percentage on the material items, and for pipe work you will charge according to the complexity, be it a story building or is it just a single unit somewhere in the property. So that one will definitely dictate the amount of labor or the amount that you put here in terms of labor. My top boss, if you're finding value out of our today's video, kindly smash that like button. Are you a home or a business owner? Did you know that with solar system that is correctly sized, you can save up to 80% on monthly power bills? If you are looking forward to get this system, then contact us to get a quote so that you realize this dream of saving on the money that you spend, and this will definitely scale your business from where it is to higher heights.